See what I'm saying on this? All of us, one of these things. And in the original story, if that's what the response brought in each case, what should we expect but just the same if that's who we really are? But that's the point. Even in this church, we could be a Herod. Oh, I'll give God lip service, but man, you're not king. Or we could be in this place. Oh man, I really, Jesus, but I just don't have room right now. We could be a shepherd. Or we could be one of the magi. Did you catch in the beginning of this whole thing in the video, it all came down and referred to one text, Revelation 3:20. We really usually don't consider that a Christmas text. But here it is. Look, let me read this to you in the Living Bible, just for that flavor of how it speaks. Look, I have been standing at the door, and I am constantly knocking. If anyone hears me calling him and opens the door, I will come in and fellowship with him, and he with me. God visiting. Going to answer the door. This particular passage is a favorite of evangelists, isn't it? Sometimes you even see it written over banners in churches and stuff. Behold, I stand at the door. And we tend to think of this in terms of that person who's never accepted Christ and say, he's knocking, accept him, accept him. But if you pull back into Scripture, who is this actually addressing? It was a resurrected Christ addressing the church of Laodicea. It was Christ addressing a lukewarm church. Well, how does that fit into this? Well, we went on into all of this about, Christ is visiting. He's knocking at the door. And we think of it in terms of the Christmas story of this one-time event. And yes, there is an initial event where Christ will knock on your door and you will answer or you won't. And then, judging by the historical profiles, it will come to an inevitable conclusion ultimately. But the fact of this verse is that there isn't only one time. I would say, put it this way, even if you sit here and you go, man, I'm glad I answered the door when Jesus came. I'm glad I went to the stable. Well, good for you. But here's the thing. He doesn't only knock once. It's constantly. He is visiting your life in different ways. Maybe across the gamut here. He's visiting your life in your intellect at one time. He's visiting your life in your experience. He's visiting your life in just daily, busy, what you consider non-religious life. He's visiting who's king of that particular area. And you will respond. And you will live the consequences of your response. So will I. So will I. So the question, really, just a few little questions to take with you, and you go and you answer. But let me start with this one. When is the last time you sensed God visiting? I mean, beyond the norm, when is the last time you sensed God visiting? Were you a Bethlehem and you just missed it? Were you hostile? What were you? How did you respond? How do you respond when God visits?